Happy Monday, television family. 9th day of March, 2026 is upon us. I am Dan Kuntz. What happened to the weekend? First of all, I want my hour back. I don't do daylight saving very well. My body clock is pretty regimented when you get up at the hours that you do, and you work the hours that you do. You have a routine. Now it's all messed up, but we'll get through it. It's going to be a crazy week weather-wise. We're going to have a little bit of snow, perhaps measurable snow tomorrow morning into Wednesday. Passes are getting hammered right now. Chains are required. It's snowing to beat the band on Stevens. Chains are required. It's snowing to beat the band on I-90. I was just looking at the cameras. You can't even make out the highway. Winter travel conditions to say the least in the Cascades. That's going to last all week long. They're way behind on their snowpack. The snowpack's only about half of what it should be this time of the year. They're going to be catching up in a big way this week, and things are going to be a lot cooler and a lot wetter down here in the Wenatchee Valley after the unseasonably warm weekend. Weather is always top of our list, followed by news. We'll do that too. Sports, the weekend that was, the high school winter sports season has officially come to an end with the basketball state championships in Tacoma, Yakima, and Spokane. We'll let you know how all the local teams did there. Not a particularly good weekend for the Kraken or the Mariners for that matter, but at least the Mariner games don't count. And at the back half of the program, a conversation you do not want to miss with Verónica Arroyo-Pérez. She is the Education and Outreach Coordinator for the Cascadia Conservation District, their second annual conservation fair. The theme is After the Flood. I think you know what we're talking about. That's this Saturday at the local event center at the Pybus Public Market. Veronica will fill you in on all those details, and it's a good conversation. I liked it. I learned a lot. You will too. 2 minutes after the hour, 34 degrees, fairly clear pretty much in our viewing area. Not going to stay that way, by the way. It'll be sunny, but things are going to be pretty cattywampus. We hit 68 on Saturday, not a record high, but very close. Omak and Ephrata on Saturday got into the 70s. That was a record high. And then yesterday we hit 62 for the afternoon high. And keep in mind, our normal high is 50. We ain't going to get anywhere close to 50 today. Remember winter, which hasn't been here yet? It's making a late comeback as we're down to just the last 11 days of spring. And as you can tell, unlike Friday, the sun isn't up yet. Sunrise this morning, thank you very much, daylight saving time, 7:25. Sunset tonight, 6:58. So for those of you who like the sunny evenings, congratulations. I could care less. 11 hours and 33 minutes of daylight. That's 3 minutes and 25 seconds longer than it was yesterday. You can definitely tell the days are getting longer. Good morning to Leavenworth. That's our Tumwater Canyon camera. Not in the Tumwater Canyon. We wouldn't be able to see anything, but we call it that because, well, we have to call it something. And it's a beautiful morning up in the Chelan area from the Lower Butte camera. And Malcolm has that panned quite a ways out. I could hardly see a cloud in the sky up Chelan area. Let me check Chelan. You're the same as Wenatchee right now, 34 degrees. But this unseasonably warm March, which followed a warm February, which followed a warm January, that's going to change in a big way starting today. First of all, for the mountain passes, as you look at that, that's not a mistake. They're going to be measuring the snow at Stevens and up in Holden Village. They're going to be measuring the snow in feet, not inches. Right now, there's a winter storm warning that goes until 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then the winter storm warning is replaced with a winter storm watch for the rest of the week for the Cascades. They are going to get a lot of snow. As I already mentioned, chains are already required on Stevens and on I-90. Blewett's not too bad, but it's still not going to be particularly pleasant if you're heading up into the Cascades. And this is going to be the case really all week long. Heaviest snow is today and then overnight into Tuesday, and for most of the day Tuesday. Then they're going to get snow for the rest of the week, but not nearly as hard as is coming down right now in the Cascades, and it is coming down. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. Sunshine today, windy today, but a stray snowflake or raindrop can't be ruled out. The jet stream has scooted down. It is right at the British Columbia-Washington state border, and that's why it's feeding all of this weather our way. And that high of 44 is actually below normal. I haven't seen that for a while. Partly cloudy, windy tonight. By the way, it's going to be windy today and windy tonight, 28 for the overnight low. Tuesday is the quietest day of the whole work week, for the day anyway. It'll be sunny on Tuesday with a high of 45, and then Tuesday night, here we go. Snow in the Wenatchee Valley. Yeah, I think so. How much? We don't know yet. But you're going to wake up Wednesday morning to snow on the ground. Snow level is going to be about 1,300 feet and a 60% chance of something coming down Tuesday night. Wednesday morning snow switches over to rain. The snow level Wednesday morning will be at 1,200 feet. By the end of the day, it'll be at 3,400 feet. So we're going to have quite a bit of rain on Wednesday. A lot of rain Wednesday night, 90% chance of rain on Wednesday night with snow still in the Cascades. Thursday, rain and wind. Thursday night, rain and wind. Friday, rain and wind. Friday night, rain. Get ready for a pretty wet week ahead of us as we're getting ready to say goodbye to spring. The spring equinox is right around the corner. Going to take a break and come back with, what do we do here? The news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
The Moses Lake National RV Show is coming to the Grant County Fairgrounds March 13th to the 22nd. 10 days, countless manufacturers, and unbeatable deals. Shop a huge selection of all the best brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Shop Grand Design, Flagstaff, Gulfstream, and much more. All with massive manufacturer discounts, free admission, and you could win a new RV. Don't miss the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds. Schedule a VIP tour to save $1,000 at nationalrvshowmoseslake.com.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. Chelan Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and culinary delights. With 4 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure. But don't wait, tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
34 degrees. It's a nice morning, but it's not going to be a particularly nice week. In fact, today and tomorrow are really going to be the quietest 2 days of the work week. And then we start with some early morning snow switching over to rain on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, and Saturday. It's going to be a wet week with heavy snow at about 3,500 feet and above in the mountain passes. Just about 9 minutes after the hour, 2 residents were struck by gunfire in the Bridgeport area. This happened early Sunday morning. Authorities believe it is gang-related. Douglas County Sheriff Tyler Cale reports that about 1:47 a.m., multiple gunshots were fired at a home in the 400 block of State Route 173 that witnesses say originated from a pickup. The suspect truck had fled the scene before deputies arrived, but over 60 shell casings from a handgun were found. About an hour later, the pickup in question was found fully engulfed in flames at the Bridgeport Quick Mart. That's on Foster Creek Avenue. And then at about 4:32 Sunday morning, deputies responded to the 100 block of Fur Avenue in the Bridgeport bar area to reports of multiple gunshots being fired at a residence there. That home also struck multiple times, including one round that entered a child's bedroom with a child inside. No injuries reported, no suspects have yet to be identified. Douglas County detectives are asking that anybody with information or video surveillance footage get a hold of their office as soon as you can. A group of Chelan County Sheriff's deputies are suing their employer in federal court, alleging that Sheriff Mike Morrison wrongfully demoted them for supporting his predecessor, Brian Burnett, during the 2022 election. Their lawsuit says Morrison demoted them from their previous positions of sergeant in an act of retaliation and, I'm quoting now, ensure that plaintiffs are shunned as troublemakers, end quote. They say that during the 2022 campaign, the candidates and the county compelled them to publicly choose sides and offer endorsements. The lawsuit was filed Wednesday of last week. It follows a previous tort claim seeking $2 million in damages for each deputy. Now the four are asking for damages, attorney's fees, and any injunctive relief. Okanagan County Sheriff Paul Boudreau is stepping down from his elected position to become the chief of police of Twist, which was the job he had before he was elected Okanagan County Sheriff. In a letter to constituents, Boudreau says the health insurance he receives as the sheriff does not extend health care benefits to his family. He continued by saying the opportunity in Twisp allows him to remain in the region he currently serves. According to the Methow Valley News, Twisp fired its former police chief in February of 2025 and will focus on rebuilding his police force this year. Boudreau's departure comes just before his first term as sheriff was set to end, which would have ended this year. His chief criminal deputy, Jody Barkis, is so far the only candidate to file for office to replace him. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is asking residents in the Eastmont area to review security cameras for footage that may help them in their investigation into the stabbing of an East Wenatchee woman that happened last Tuesday when police say 32-year-old Mitchell Figueroa Ibarra confronted the 35-year-old victim outside her home at 40th Circle Northeast near East Wenatchee. Apparently stabbed her multiple times. Sheriff's deputies say the assault was captured on home security video and are asking nearby residents to review footage from their home cameras between 2:10 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. on March 3rd. They want you to look for suspicious activity or unusual foot traffic. The area of interest spans Eastmont Avenue and Badger Mountain Road south towards Eastmont and 19th Street. Anybody with relevant footage is asked to contact the sheriff's tip line. A former Moses Lake physician was wounded, now in custody, after a police shootout in Florida. And so he was arrested for an alleged sexual assault. 72-year-old Thomas Earl Steffens previously practiced in Grant County from 1990 until moving to Colorado, where he received a new license to practice in 2019. Police in his new hometown of Grand Junction say Steffens is suspected of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman sometime around January 28th. He was wanted on a Colorado arrest warrant when police and U.S. Marshals caught up with him Tuesday at a traffic stop in Vero Beach, Florida, where he allegedly refused to exit the vehicle he was riding in and opened fire on the officers. One U.S. Marshal was wounded in the leg. The task force returned fire and injured Steffens before arresting him. The Marshal Service says he was treated at a local hospital. He's expected to survive. Colorado records show Steffens agreed not to practice medicine last year, while the state medical board investigated claims that he was mentally or physically unfit to work as a physician. In addition to the Colorado case, he now faces likely charges in Florida, including attempted murder. The National Park Service says it is making federal funds available to partially rebuild the crucial road that serves Tehican. The remote Lake Wenatchee, the remote Lake Chelan community sits in the National Recreation Area, which is managed by the National Parks. The town, of course, was hit hard by December's flood, which swelled and rerouted the Tehican River. The flood destroyed a 400-foot levee and about a 1,000-foot section of Company Creek Road. Planners want to rebuild the levee and construct an elevated temporary road, part of which would lie outside the jurisdiction of the National Park Service. The agency announced its intentions on Thursday, although it didn't publicly commit to how much they're going to spend on the rebuilding. The Park Service aims to complete reconstruction in consultation with Chelan County and local landowners before the spring runoff begins. AmeriCorps has put people to work in diverse fields since it was created in the 1990s. The federal program places seasonal staff in communities around the country. They do work that touches on education, conservation, economic development, veteran services, and more. In the Wenatchee Valley, AmeriCorps workers, who are known as members, work through the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, and last week I sat down to talk about the program with two local AmeriCorps organizers.
A day can look very different from depending what host site you're placed at. Each member has a host site, and Jeremy and I work with the site supervisors that are going to mentor that AmeriCorps member and support them. They might be tutoring students in the school. They might be at a nonprofit recruiting volunteers. They might be helping out at a food pantry or a food distribution center. So it can really vary depending where they are placed at.
And how do you determine when an AmeriCorps person falls under your purvey? How do you decide what skill set works for, I'm going to send you here to work on this or send you there to work on that? How do you know, how do you make the right fit work?
Yeah, so the applicants, they complete a AmeriCorps member application and they go through an interview process with both Jeremy and I, and then also with the potential host sites. You know, we have a very candid conversation with them. You know, what are you interested in? And then we also take into account their experiences, or maybe they have a goal, I want to work in this field. So we try to play matchmaker to help them find a position that they'd be interested in.
And it's, my guess is a bit of a challenge. I mean, to really make it work.
To make it work, it just takes a lot of hard work, you know, on everyone's part. The applicants to be willing to try something new. You know, maybe learn a new skill that they haven't used before or don't know about. But then also us too, we want to be able to support them and the host site. So it's really important that we're all on the same page, that we're all working together.
What's the difference between what Liz does as a director and you as the volunteer coordinator for the local AmeriCorps?
So I help Liz with recruitment of members or host sites. We always are recruiting for host sites. I myself am a host site supervisor for the Literacy Council and for a secondary for food distribution. So I feel that there are a lot of great benefits to being a host site. You get to work with people of diverse backgrounds. You get to bring people into your agency to help you build capacity or expand on a current program. Yeah, so it's just a great partnership and, you know, just basically recruiting volunteers.
And do you have the same challenges that Liz does as, hey, you got to volunteer and just stick me wherever you need me, as opposed to, I think I'll be better at this than that?
Yeah, so even with the agency volunteer application, it's much like the AmeriCorps application. We have a listing of like, this is where we want to help out at. And then I just meet one-on-one with them and find out basically where they truly would be the happiest and make their service more meaningful.
And how do you put the need with whatever it may be? There's a couple of openings right now. I think the Humane Society had an opening for somebody in there up in the Bridgeport area. How does the marriage work between this is the AmeriCorps person that we need and this is why we need them? How does that marriage work? How do you fit those two together?
Yeah. So we, build a partnership, and as you know, partnership takes time, effort, energy. We work together to create a AmeriCorps member position description, which outlines the tasks that the members are going to do. And on that, we can put too, we would like a member to have experience in here, or maybe a skill set here. And so we try to do a match, and then we also support them in supporting their member. Maybe they have a member that joined that position that doesn't have that skill, help them, support them to train them with that skill.
Is there a certain challenge with AmeriCorps, and I mean this from a budgetary standpoint? Alan and I talked about this before. Things were a little dicey at this time last year, and AmeriCorps locally was like going to just go away, and then the money came back again. Is it hard to recruit either flat out volunteers or the people who are being paid not much to do their job? Is that like, gee, I'd love to work with AmeriCorps, but I don't know if I'm going to have a job in 3 months. Does that make things challenging?
Definitely, it's challenging. AmeriCorps has had a lot of challenges, but we have huge supporters in the Valley, in the community. We've been really fortunate. We've had partnerships that have hosted members years after year. And so, with budgets, that can change, so we try to be positive, work together, and just have, transparent communication with the members too. I had, some members join that maybe had concerns about what happened in the past, and we can't always control everything, but we can do all that we can do and support them.
AmeriCorps is basically for everyone. Does not matter your age, we will find a position for you that will make you happy, and you can actually benefit from the AmeriCorps program benefits, like the Education Award. They receive a $7,395 Education Award that can be applied to their qualifying student loans. So if someone doesn't have student loans or they don't have any interest in going back to college, if they're over the age of 55, they can actually gift that to a child or a grandchild.
Now you are in the loop of what's happening on what's probably going to be a pretty busy week around here. They usually are. The news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCAA Life Evening News, 5, 6, and 10 on television on this very station you're watching right now. Don't forget we stream. So if you just consume all your television via the internet, if you go to our website, you can click on the live stream and watch whatever we're broadcasting. The news at 5, 6, and 10. Also on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. If you have a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. A Monday in sports is a busy one. Today is no exception. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
22 after the hour, the weekend that was in sports. Not a good Saturday night for the Kraken. The Senators are pretty good, but are they that much better than the Kraken? If the playoffs ended today, Seattle would make the playoffs, barely, but the playoffs don't start today. They laid a big fat egg against the Senators on Saturday night. They will take on the Nashville Predators. They're good. That'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock on Kong TV. No reason to panic because the games don't count, but still, Mariners aren't playing very good in spring training. Now, I know the games don't count, and most of the best players are off playing in the World Baseball Classic, but the Mariners fell at 4-11 in Cactus League play. They won Friday, but they lost Saturday and Sunday. They're having some pitching woes in the bullpen. Hopefully they'll turn that around this afternoon when they take on the Diamondbacks. Men's college basketball, Huskies went down to Eugene on Saturday night, and speaking of laying a big fat egg, they did. The Ducks are 16th in the 18-team Big Ten, but the Huskies lost. If it was the regular season finale for both teams, 85-79, the Big Ten tournament gets underway on Wednesday, or tomorrow, I should say, in Chicago. In fact, here's your schedule. In the semifinals, number 12 Gonzaga men will take on Oregon State. That is tonight in the West Coast Conference Tournament in New Orleans. That'll be on ESPN. You can watch that there. Or the Big Ten tournament for the Huskies anyway. They will play on Wednesday in Chicago against Southern Cal on a station I didn't bother to look up. Women's tournament, the West Coast Conference Tournament, continues for the Cougars. They're done. They took on Portland. They lost 72-62. The Cougar women will not be going to a postseason tournament. Neither will the men, for that matter. The West Coast Conference Tournament schedule looks like this. Gonzaga will take on Santa Clara this afternoon at 2:30 on ESPN+. How did the local teams do? Good year for the Waterville-Mansfield Shocker girls. They made it as far as the semifinals. Hills before they lost, but they did beat Oakesdale on Saturday 48-44. So the Shockers finished third in the state in the 1B tournament. Lummi Nation knocked off Pateras 54-45. The Billy Goats finish in 6th place. In the boys 2B tournament, Okanagan finishes third by beating Reardon in that game 63-57. Congratulations to the Okanagan Bulldogs. They did good. In the boys state 1B tournament, Moses Lake Christian defeated Liberty Christian for the 4th place game. Congratulations to them. DeSales beat Elmira Cooley Heartline. Elmira Cooley Heartline boys finish in 5th place. So here's who won the big gold bar. Richland wins their 5th state championship in the 4A division. Rainier Beach won their 11th 3A championship. Bremerton took the 2A championship. The Linden Christian boys, the 1A championship. Colfax, the 2B champions. Lummi Nation, the 1B champions. The state girls basketball champions. Davis, back-to-back champs. In 4A, Eastside Catholic upset Bellevue for the 3A title. Linden is the 2A champion. Zilla, the 1A champion. Cleveland Roslyn, the 2B champion. And Nia Bay, the 1B champion. Not a good weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. They lost to Penticton on Friday, and they lost at home 5-3 on Saturday. And for the Wenatchee Wild, their playoff hopes are about done. They have to take on Red Deer in Red Deer Tuesday. They're at Edmonton Wednesday, Prince George Friday and Saturday, all on the road. And Rails and Ales is a done deal. Luckily, the snow didn't melt in the near record warmth in our area. It was great. I was afraid the snow was going to melt. Kate Calvin, our sports director, filed this report.
The day finally arrived, Rails and Ales 2026. Fans, competitors, judges, and organizers packed to Rondo Avenue in downtown Wenatchee for the 12th edition of the popular event. Skiers and snowboarders wowed onlookers with tricks during the Rail Jam competition, which saw plenty of fancy moves and risk-taking. Shay Miller, the events manager at Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort, says Rails and Ales takes a lot of teamwork to put together, but it's always worth it for the joy it brings to North Central Washington.
I think the biggest thing is how much effort goes into this with all of our employees at Mission Ridge and all of our sponsors too in the city of Wenatchee. It's just a really big, incredible event where everybody kind of comes together to put on for all of the people that are in the area.
The Shredders and Rippers battled for cash prizes and bragging rights, looking to impress the judges panel as well as the crowd.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the fact that we can be out here with all of these people, have all of these incredible athletes out here, bringing some incredible stoke to everybody in the Wenatchee Valley. It's just amazing. It's really awesome, lots of energy. I love it.
We asked Miller what her favorite part of the event is. She did not hesitate to answer.
I think truly the best part is the community coming out and experiencing something that not a lot of people get to see. And just honestly, like all of the stoke that's around us, it's incredible. So it's got to be the people that come out here for sure.
For information on future events, go to missionridge.com. Reporting in Wenatchee, Cade Calvin, NCW Life.
And those are just some of the games that people are playing. 28 minutes after the hour, happy National Crab Meat Day, and special thanks to whoever it was who said crab meat, melted butter. Let's see what happens if we put those two together. Everybody loves crab meat. Fun facts about crabs. There are a lot of different species of crabs. There are over 6,700 different species of crabs who are decapods because they have 10 legs. Jumbo crab meat comes from the swimming legs of the crab. The world's largest crab is the Japanese spider crab, 13 feet across. The smallest crabs in the world are called pea crabs. They're about that big. You can barely see them. And I'm hungry right now for some, it doesn't matter how you cook it either. Boiled, steamed, I don't care, roasted. Just bring on the crab meat, melted butter, a liter of your house wine, and I'm good to go. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history. To this day, historians still have no idea why Pancho Villa and his 5,000 soldiers crossed the Rio Grande and attacked a bunch of people in Columbus, New Mexico. All we know is that they did. They just did it. That got Woodrow Wilson pretty upset, as you might imagine. Columbus, New Mexico, they crossed the border. They slaughtered 17 Americans, and they hightailed it out of there. We chased them. Still, nobody knows why he did it. Got Woodrow Wilson mad, but then World War I intervened and everybody forgot. Operation Meeting House. It made the dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki seem like recess. The most intense bombing campaign ever. Night bombing. 1,500 tons of bombs fell over Tokyo, and it killed about 100,000 people, almost all of them women, children, and old people. If you were a fit man, you were in the Japanese Army or the Navy, which is why Tokyo had almost nothing but old people, women, and children, and they're the ones who got killed. 16 square miles of Tokyo burned to the ground, left 1 million people homeless. That was on this date of 1945. And happy birthday to Barbie. The Barbie doll made its debut at the International Toy Fair in New York on this date 67 years ago today. So Barbie's retired, collecting Social Security, living in Arizona somewhere. Barbie doll sales are starting to rebound. They tanked for about 10 years. They're starting to come back. For those of you who like Barbie, enjoy. Birthdays. You could be living in the United States of Vespucci if they had just reversed it. Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian cartographer who said, I think that stuff that Columbus found over there, I think that may actually be a continent. He certainly realized that South America was a continent. And so the Americas, North America, South America, named after Amerigo Vespucci, who was one of the first guys to actually write out fairly accurate maps. That's where we come from, the United States of America, but we could be living in the United States of Vespucci. I like America better. The great saxophonist, the trumpet player, he also played violin, Ornette Coleman. The music lives on, even though we lost Ornette 11 years ago. It's great jazz, really good jazz. He's one of the best saxophonists and trumpet players of all time, born in the state in 1930. The first human in space, Yuri Gagarin, from the Soviet Union, born in the state in 1934. He was talented, he was charismatic, he was also small enough to fit inside the capsule. Vostok 1, he did one orbit around the Earth, never did go back into orbit again, but he gets that claim to fame. He died in a plane crash at the age of 34 in 1968. And happy 43rd birthday to Clint Dempsey, voted by ESPN, Fox Sports, and NBC to be the greatest American soccer player of all time. And of course, he played for the Sounders for a number of years. Clint Dempsey, he's retired now at 43. I wish I had retired at 43. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion about some inside technical talk, shop talk with Mike Magnotti, and then my conversation with Verónica Arroyo-Pérez. She's the educational and outreach specialist for the Cascadia Conservation District. You're going to learn a lot from her. I did. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, you may be asking what this thing is here, okay? Well, what it is, because I keep punching it, it runs the teleprompter, okay? Now, I'm not the president. I'm not anybody else real important. They don't have the teleprompter set up so that it runs at the right speed for me. So I have to keep punching this button to make it stop and go. So if you're wondering what I'm doing with this, that's what I'm doing. And if you're thinking, boy, that McNaughty really isn't all that bright at all, well, you can join the club. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Hey, that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Welcome back to the program. If you haven't made plans already for Saturday the 14th, you just have. Because Veronica is going to tell you what you're going to want to do down at the Pybus Puppet Market, specifically the local event center at the Pybus Puppet Market, because the Cascadia Conservation District is having a little party. And everybody is invited. Party might not be the right word. It's the second annual Conservation Fair, Veronica. Second is good, which means you've done one, and it went off well enough that you're going to do it again. Introduce yourself to our television family, Veronica.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Verónica Arroyo-Pérez. I'm Education and Outreach Specialist at Cascadia Conservation District. I've been here for about a year now. And even though I do education and outreach, we have a lot of other departments, and that's kind of what the Conservation Fair is supposed to focus on, for everybody to learn about everything we offer and what we do here. So, yeah.
And right now, my viewers, the ones who aren't very bright, which is very few, are going, Cascadia Conservation. What do they do? I've heard of them. What McKittrick Street, right, or something like that. Yep. Conservation, Cascadia Conservation District 101, a basic outline of your group.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, but basically we have different departments. Like we have, like I said, education and outreach. We have a ton of programs. We work from students K through 12, and we talk about environmental stewardship, We take them outside, connect them to nature, and hopefully make them our future stewards of Chelan County. They're also Chelan County residents. We have our riverscape team, so they're working all over Chelan County, helping people put in like BDAs. I don't know if you're familiar with BDAs, Beaver Dam Analogs, for those that are not familiar, yeah. So they're putting in native plants, they're doing work in the stream with a lot of local landowners. Then we have our forestry team, and they're doing a lot of like community resilience, home hardening, helping people make sure that their homes are prepared for wildfire, because whether we like it or not, it's just the area that we live in is prone to wildfire, and we want to make sure that we feel safe in our homes, and that's what our team is here to help people do, feel safe in our communities. And then we have agriculture, and like I said, they do like cost share, they do irrigation efficiencies, a lot of different things. And you don't have to own a farm or an orchard, it could be in your backyard. You could be wanting to start having like raised garden beds. We could help with that too, technical assistance, install like micro drip irrigation. So you don't have to have like a huge chunk of land. It could be less than an acre in your backyard, and we could help with that.
You mentioned we're prone to wildfires, and as we found out in mid-December, prone to floods too, and that's the theme of this fair on Saturday at the Pybus Public Market after the storm. Is the theme, and a lot of people probably had no idea what you guys did, and then starting at the Monday or Tuesday after that atmospheric river came through, you probably started getting a lot of phone calls. Talk about how your organization responded to the unprecedented event back in December.
Yeah, starting that Friday, not even the Monday after, our team was out there, like Patrick Haggerty, Joe Hill, and a lot of our other people at Cascadia were out there chipping for free for people, helping people like buck those huge trees that fell on their yards. So yeah, I think people started seeing our trucks and our logo, and so like I said, all that is like free assistance. We're just trying to help our community, get back on their feet after all of that. We still have like a wait list for springtime, so we did as much as we possibly could before winter. Didn't really get winter weather, so we did a little bit more that we were able. And yeah, we will continue like right now in the spring to continue chipping what was left kind of from the storm. But yeah, we themed this conservation fair after the storm, but really it's like before, during, and after, because we are inviting partners, and then we're also showcasing what we do and how we can help you prepare for disaster. Nobody wants to think that way or think negatively but it can happen, and as we saw in December, like a tree could potentially fall very near your house, and you could lose power, and all these different things that could happen. So we want to empower our community to feel informed and to feel safe and to feel like there are things in their control that they can do to protect their home and their community against maybe wildfire, against flooding events, wind events. We can't control those things happening, but we can do things to make us feel safer.
If you choose to live near a large body of water, that's having floods is the risk that you take. There was no secret that this storm was coming in mid-December, but the intensity of it is what caught everybody by surprise. I know people who live along the icicle along the Wenatchee who did some preparation, knowing that the riverbanks were going to come up, and they were overwhelmed. I mean, nobody's ever seen anything like that around these parts.
No, and it was a lot of community effort, which was really great to see. Like I saw some wrestling team from a school that was helping fill up sandbags. Cashmere, for some of the communities there, which was wonderful to see. And this was really a collaborative effort, which is why we're inviting other partners to be at our fair.
Amongst who else is going to be there?
So Eastside Rebuild is going to be there. So they had a huge part in like the December storms of coordinating volunteers and coordinating tools as well if people needed to borrow like chainsaws or any other kinds of tools like that to help them in their homes. So Eastside Rebuild will be there. Wenatchee Valley Fire will be there. We will have Trout Unlimited be there. Café, which is Community Advancement for Family Education, will be there. The Leavenworth Hatchery will be there as well. I feel like I'm missing one. How many did I say?
I think they know who's going to be there.
Yeah, yeah. So
it's an open thing. It's completely free.
Yeah,
it starts at 10 a.m. You can just come in and just wander around or talk to a specific person from either your guest booths, or will be there, or somebody from your organization who are specialists in their field.
Yeah, you don't have to be there the whole time. So it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have refreshments there, so you can come in, wander around all the tables. Our partners and Cascadia booths are all going to have like fun activities for the family.
That was the next question I was going to ask you, Veronica. So there might be some people who the kids are going to get bored or something while we try to educate ourselves, but you'll take care of that.
Yeah, they won't get bored, or that's our plan. We're going to have a lot of different stations. Our Cascadia archaeologist is going to be there, Kim, and she's going to have kids, not just kids, if adults want to do it too, sift through some treasures and some soil. So a lot of different activities that kind of highlight our programs. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, every kind of department will have something kind of tied to whatever they do, but something fun that the whole family can enjoy. And while you're learning about like our programs, like the kids are playing, the adults are like learning. All of our staff are going to be there, so you can talk to a forester if you've been having questions about like some trees in your yard, or if you have a stream or a body of water in your landscape, you can talk to our riverscape professionals, and our ag team is going to be there. So everybody will be there. You can ask questions. We're also hosting like a landowner panel. So some landowners will have information about maybe if we helped like chip, or if they did any fuels reduction, or any kind of project that they had with us. We're going to have about 3 to 4 landowners there. We're going to have a panel so the public can kind of get an idea of what kind of projects are possible with Cascadia and how we can work together.
Do the people, do the landowners who have sizable acreage in Chelan County that either abuts DNR or Forest Service land, or is just naturally abundant in nature, are they, for the most part, the private landowners, are they pretty good stewards of the land? Do they understand that they have a responsibility, even though it's private property, they have a responsibility for trees and watershed and fire protection? Do they get it?
From what I can tell, yes. The landowners that we work with are all super flexible. They're willing to learn more. I think a lot of them are already really knowledgeable. Sometimes maybe they just came into owning this land, so they're a little unfamiliar, but they do the right thing and they contact people like the Conservation District. So they're like, I just moved here. These are the ideas that I have for this landscape. What is possible? And then you'd get us out to do like a site visit, and we're doing soil testing to see what kind of soil you have here, what kind of plants can you have here, like what can you do with the land that you're on. So yeah, I would say they're knowledgeable about it. They're excited to have us out there, and kind of like they can teach us, we can teach them. It's like a very collaborative effort. Cascadia is non-regulatory, which means
is important. Explain that.
Yeah, it's important. It means that when we go to do a site visit and we step onto your land, you're giving us permission. We're not there to do inspections. We're not there to say, you can't have this here, write you a fine. That's not what we do. We give technical advice and support and resources. So we're also funded by grants, whether that's like through federal grants, state grants, donations, and things like that. So all of our programs are dependent and they rely on that. But yeah, we're giving technical advice, and if we currently don't have the funding for a project, we are very well connected with all of the different resources in Chelan County, so we'll get you to where you need to be. But without, we're not gonna come to your orchard or your backyard and be like, we're not gonna get you in trouble for anything. We're just there to be like a friendly person and kind of help you answer your questions and get you the advice and technical help.
You said you've been at it for about a year. Is that how long you've been in the Valley, or a little?
No, I've been here since I was 4. So.
Okay, so how did you fall into your gig with the Cascadia Conservation District? How did this job come to be?
I did an AmeriCorps term.
Oh, we just had AmeriCorps earlier in the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So Washington Conservation Corps. I did like a field term with them, and then after I did my field term, I found this position with Cascadia. They needed like a education and outreach like technician, so it seemed like a good fit. I took it on. Yeah, that started like late January, and I just stayed on after my term ended. So,
do you do a lot of interaction with, say, Sustainable NCW, which is a private organization who does a lot of the same work, or even the governmental entities like DNR or Forest Service?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys all kind of overlap a little bit? Talk about that.
Yeah, DNR will actually be at the fair. I think that's the one that I was forgetting. Yeah, absolutely. We have so many partners that we see pretty often. Like Sustainable NCW, they're the ones that are hosting like the Earth Day Fair. We'll go to that event and we'll be there. DNR, we partner in so many ways, whether it's like with our foresters or maybe when we do education, we have something called Kids in the Forest. So we'll partner with Columbia Breaks Fire Interpretive Center and ENIAT, and we'll be there. DNR will be there. They'll have some of the rigs, and the firefighters come talk to the students about like what it means to be a firefighter and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have a ton of partners, and I think that's what makes not just Cascadia, but the work that all of these people that work in natural resources successful is the collaboration and the partnerships and feeding off of each other and not trying to replicate the wheel, but instead trying to help fill in the gaps within each other. So we might have like funding gaps that somebody else can fill in for us, and we can work together. So yeah, we're really well connected with our partners.
A number of decades ago, as the orchards went away and the housing developments began to explode, especially up the East Wenatchee Bench, a lot of people turned to the west side of the valley, and we said, we don't want that in Wenatchee proper. And the city of Wenatchee and the Chelan-Douglas Land Trust got pretty aggressive and started snapping up as much land in the foothills on the west side of the Wenatchee Valley as possible to keep that from happening. Nothing against private development, is progress. That's got to make you guys feel pretty good about that, to see that kind of being proactive to try to keep the natural beauty of our area as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
That's got to make you feel pretty good, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. And yeah, like you said, there's a lot of partners involved with that, like the Land Trust and things like that. And they're also doing a lot of great work with like education, educating communities and then getting them out there. There's a lot of collaborations there with people to see all of our public landscapes, and yeah, hopefully get everybody in the community thinking that we should preserve this. Yeah, not everything should be developed.
Exactly. Do you like going to the classrooms and seeing the kids? You have a
yeah. I spent all week at Washington Elementary this week. I
love Washington. I spent 9 of the best years of my life at Washington Elementary.
Yeah, I love it. I like working with students. They're super smart. We just did STEM night last night, the second Wenatchee School District STEM night at John Newberry last night. And it is super exciting to see them getting to go to all of these tables. Like the Forest Service was there, Leavenworth Hatchery was there, Astronomy Club was there, just Wenatchee River Institute was there. There's so many partners, and it's really great to see kids be excited about things in nature and feel comfortable.
I was going to ask you that. How do you know that you're making an impact instead of the kids going, "This is Taylor made me come"?
Yeah.
How do you know? How do you know you're getting there?
We still get some of those.
Okay.
It always happens. But for example, we have a partnership with Mission View Elementary with their One Planet Club. So my coworker Kirk, he has worked with them for a number of years, and Jen from Cascade Fisheries as well. So they take these kids on about like maybe 7 field trips during the school year. They set up game cameras. So if you've ever seen our social media and you see like videos of deer, otters, beavers, it's these kids' cameras. They're the ones setting this up. And you can really tell the difference between the students who are just joining this club. We take them on a field trip. They don't feel comfortable outside quite yet. They are very apprehensive. They don't want to touch anything. And you can really tell the difference from the kids that have been here for maybe like 3 years. They're so excited. They're asking questions. They feel comfortable outside. They feel like they belong to be outside, which is such a big thing. Like, even though I grew up here, I didn't really grow up taking advantage of all the outdoor opportunities here. So instilling this since they're young and teaching them how they can recreate here and how they can take care of the environment that we live in is really special, and it's really good to see.
I'm the same. I didn't go outside until I was 12.
Yeah, so that's early.
It is the Cascadia Conservation District Conservation. I'm going to hold this up while they actually throw it up. on the screen. The cost is nothing, zilch. If you have no money in your pocket, you can still get in. Starts at 10, goes till 2. If you're still there at 2:04, they're not going to throw you out of the local event center at the Pybus Public Market. We're almost out of time. One quick thing. 1 week from the 14th, on the 20th, you got some biochar stuff going on.
Yeah.
Let's get that in there real quick before we cut you loose.
All right, we got a lot of stuff coming up, but yeah, we have a biochar workshop March 20th in Kashmir. So all the events that we have, they're on our website, so cascadiacd.org. You can register for all our events there. We're going to be doing orchard biochar. We traditionally, at least with Cascadia, we do like forest. We do it in the forest, so like with those kind of trees. So we've done this once before this year, doing orchard like apple and pear trees. Takes a little longer to burn, but it's open to the public, so you can come learn how biochar is good for your soil. So there's going to be a professional there as well as Cascadia staff. So like I said, free, open to the public. Rumor has it there may be s'mores there, so
okay.
Incentive to go, yeah.
My rumor has it she means yes. It's good to see you, Veronica. Anytime you want to drop by and pay us a visit, you have an open invitation to come by and say hi.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you there.
On the 14th, I can't remember what. I'll have to talk to my parole agent, but I think I can probably make it happen.
Okay, sounds
Thanks for
good.
dropping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hasn't warmed much up at all, really. It's 36 degrees here in the big city. If you're planning on taking either Snoqualmie Pass or Stevens Pass today, my advice is don't. Right now, both Stevens and I-90 have chains required. It is snowing. It is snowing hard. It's going to really snow hard on Stevens Pass. They're going to be measuring the snow in feet. Right now, there's a winter storm warning. That's about as serious as it gets, and it goes all the way through till 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then it becomes a winter storm watch. Not as serious as a warning, but bad enough for most people for the rest of the week. So winter storm warning for the Cascades, and that includes Holden Village, by the way, in Stehekin. You're going to get a lot of snow. Winter storm warning until 5 o'clock tomorrow night, and then it switches over to a winter storm watch for the rest of the week. Down here in the valley floor, rain is the big story. Now today, the big story is going to be the wind. It's going to be quite windy at times today, with a high of about 44 with lots of sunshine. Pretty quiet tonight outside of the wind. It's going to be breezy tonight as well, 28 for the overnight low. Tuesday is going to be the quiet day before things really get sideways. Sunshine, a high of 45. Keep in mind our normal high is 50, so we're finally going to see cooler than normal temperatures after a very warm start to the month. And then here we go. Chance of a rain snow mix Tuesday night, 60%. Chance of rain Wednesday, 80%. Chance of rain Wednesday night, 90%. Chance of rain Thursday, 80%. Chance of rain Thursday night, 70%. Chance of rain Friday, 70%. Chance of rain Friday night, 70%. Get ready for a lot of lowland rain. And the snow level, by the way, is going to be pretty consistent. It's going to be right around 3,400 to 3,500 feet starting Wednesday for the rest of the week. Here we go. And be good, and we'll see you Tuesday. Until then, bye-bye.